The room went silent. Everyone at Maple Roast Cafe turned to stare at the young black man standing nervously by the counter, resume in hand. He had come for a job interview, his first in months. But before he could say a word, the cafe manager, a tall man with slick hair named Greg, folded his arms and sneered. "We're not hiring right now, especially not someone like you." The words cut through the air like glass. A couple of employees glanced at each other awkwardly, unsure if they should speak up. The young man, Marcus, tried to smile politely. "Sir, the sign outside says help wanted." "I have barista experience, Anne." Greg interrupted, smirking. "We already have enough diversity for the month. You wouldn't fit our customer image." A hush fell over the cafe. A woman sipping coffee by the window gasped quietly. But the manager didn't care. He turned away, signaling the conversation was over. Marcus stood frozen, humiliation washing over him. He could feel everyone's eyes, some full of pity, others pretending not to see. He quietly picked up his resume, turned around, and walked toward the door. But just before he left, a young voice spoke up. "Dad, what did you just say?" The crowd turned again. Standing behind the counter, holding an apron in her hands, was Emily, Greg's 19-year-old daughter. She had just come in from the back and heard everything. Greg's face flushed. "Emily, stay out of this. It's none of your business." "You just embarrassed that man in front of everyone," Emily said, her voice trembling but firm. "Do you even hear yourself?" Marcus stopped near the door, unsure if he should stay or go. Emily's voice grew louder. "You always talk about community and kindness, but you treat people like this?" The cafe went dead silent again. Greg clenched his jaw, furious. "If you want to run this place one day, you better learn that not everyone belongs here." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Maybe it's you who doesn't belong." Before Greg could reply, Emily grabbed Marcus's resume off the counter and looked at him. "Come back tomorrow morning," she said softly. "We'll talk then." Greg slammed his clipboard on the counter, storming into his office. The door banged shut. Everyone watched as Emily walked out from behind the counter to hand Marcus a cup of coffee, free. He took it, stunned. "Thank you," he said quietly. "No," she replied. "Thank you for reminding me who I want to be." The crowd whispered as Marcus left the cafe, the bell above the door chiming softly. Outside, the cold air hit his face, but something in his chest felt warm, for the first time that day. Inside, Emily stared at her father's office door, her heart pounding. She didn't know it yet, but that single act of defiance was about to change everything, not just for Marcus, but for the whole town. The next morning, Marcus showed up at Maple Roast Cafe, just like Emily had asked. He almost didn't. He had barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he could still hear Greg's words, "You don't belong here." But something about Emily's kindness made him want to try again. When he walked in, Emily was already behind the counter, tying her apron. Her face lit up when she saw him. "You came," she said. Marcus nodded. "You said to." She smiled. "Good. Let's get started." That's when Greg walked in. His face turned red the moment he saw Marcus. "What is he doing here?" Emily didn't flinch. "He's here for his interview. You turned him down because of his skin, not his skill. So I'm giving him a fair chance." Customers started turning their heads. A few regulars whispered, the story from yesterday had already spread across town. Greg's voice boomed. "This is MY Cafe. You don't just hire people off the street." Emily shot back. "Then maybe it's time someone else ran it right." There was a pause. Then she turned to Marcus. "You said you've been a barista before, right?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, ma'am. For 2 years, I even trained new hires. Then show us what you've got. Marcus stepped behind the counter. Every move was smooth, the grind of the beans, the steam hissing from the espresso machine, the swirl of foam that formed a perfect maple leaf on top of a cappuccino. People started clapping. One customer took out their phone and started recording. "That's the best latte art I've ever seen," one woman said. Emily smiled proudly. "Told you he belonged." Greg stood frozen. His pride wouldn't let him speak, but his silence said it all. Then, just as the tension reached its peak, the cafe door swung open. A reporter from the Toronto Chronicle walked in with a camera crew. "We heard about what happened yesterday," the reporter said. "The town's been talking." Greg's face went pale. Emily looked shocked. "Marcus," the reporter continued, "how did it feel to be turned away, and then stand up for yourself like this?" Marcus hesitated, then said quietly, "I didn't want revenge. I just wanted respect. People like me work hard too. We just need a chance." His words hit everyone hard. The cafe was silent again, but this time, not from tension. From truth. The reporter smiled. "Beautifully said." The story aired that evening. Within days, the video of Marcus's interview went viral, millions of views. Barista denied job for his skin, now he runs the place. Emily eventually convinced her father to let Marcus manage the cafe for a month while she took over operations. Sales doubled. The community poured in, not just for the coffee, but for what the cafe had come to represent: change. One afternoon, as Marcus wiped the counter, Greg approached him quietly. "I was wrong," he said. "You do belong here, more than I ever did." Marcus looked up, smiled faintly, and nodded. "Thank you, sir." From that day on, Maple Roast Cafe became more than a coffee shop, it became a symbol of second chances and equality in the heart of a small Canadian town. And Emily? She learned something too, that courage isn't loud. Sometimes, it's as simple as standing up for what's right when everyone else stays silent.